All right, so made a few more changes to the truck. Once again, started out with the Diamondback HD truck cover. It was actually the first modification that I made to this truck. Recently, I added the Front Runner Outfitter rail system and the load bars. And then the last thing that I just got done adding is the Smittybilt rooftop tent. I've never done like consumer reports and YouTube videos and really studied equipment until it came time to study the rooftop tents. And this is what I came up with. 2-year warranty and like 1/3 of the price of the competition. So then I started looking at reviews and people said, I had this one for a year. I've had mine for 2 years. I've had mine for 2.5 years. And everybody was thoroughly impressed with the rooftop tent from Smittybilt. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger, and that's what I got. Now I'm gonna go through the process of how this thing came about. Like I said, first installed the Diamondback truck cover. That was the first thing that I did. Then if you come over this way, I added these rail systems, and you can actually order these straight from Diamondback, and there'll be a link in the description in this video to Diamondback. You can go under the accessories and you can actually get this Front Runner load bar system. I went with 3 load bars. Probably don't need to do 3. Might be a little bit overkill, but what the heck. Went ahead and added a 3rd one. These are adjustable side to side, and you can actually determine where you want to put these. I wanted to go ahead and get mine out pretty far, pretty close to the edge, and it just looks good, and that was the decision that I made. The big thing was just making sure that these 3 tracks lined up with each other. I can loosen these bolts on the backside. There's 2 of them, and then once I take that off, it takes this cover off, and then it gives me access to 2 more bolts on the bottom. And then once I loosen those, this just slides right out, and you can do that. And I can go ahead and I don't have to change these. I can just slide these right out. I purposely made sure I had enough of a gap in between these, so that way, like even over here, I've got enough of a gap that I can actually slide this track and it comes out, or I can go that way and comes out, and vice versa all the way around. These tracks I'll keep on all the time. And the load bars, I've been rolling around with it, but people said that it looked like I had 3 spoilers on the back of the truck. So just because I was waiting on my tent to get here, I will probably end up pulling the tent off because I don't have any camping trips coming up in the immediate future. But then once we get into like August, it'll go back on, and it'll stay on probably for a few months as I continue to go through the rest of the fall hunting season. So what I'm going to do is set up a time lapse. And with a timer, I have set this up 3 times now, once in the backyard and then actually 2 times using it. So I'm getting a little bit faster at it. So what I'm going to do is set up a time lapse and actually show you how fast you can set these things up from beginning to end. So that's it. We've got this whole thing set up. It was right at about 5.5, 6 minutes. I'm not sure that by myself I can actually trim any more time off of it. That's about as fast as I can go. A lot of the time takes getting the waterproof cover off and then setting your awning poles. I mean, you have to set those one at a time, and there's a little bit of up, down, up, down, up, down. But as far as setting it up with the ladder, that's pretty fast. So I've camped out of it twice already. I'm really happy with the quality. They've got a ripstop fabric. It's got the rain fly. I actually have one night I took the rain fly off completely. But I think it's one of those situations where it's nice just to have on because meteorologists get wrong a lot. And I haven't noticed that it added any more heat or anything, especially when you open up all these windows and leave the mesh. You get good airflow in there. But all in all, I'm tickled to death with it. It's a purchase that I definitely don't have any buyer's remorse on, and I would recommend looking at the Smittybilt tent as an option for your rooftop tent setup. 2 adults and like a small dog or small child or whatever should be no problem whatsoever. Like I said, Smittybilt rooftop tent. This is the Gen 2. they added another year to their warranty, and instead of tan, it's now gray. Other than that, oh, and they went to a tubular aluminum ladder instead of what looks like more a traditional rectangle ladder like you would see on a construction site or something like that. So the ladder is an upgrade. The warranty, color difference. There might be a couple of other upgrades that I'm just not aware of, but like I said, I'm using the Front Runner load bars, which you can go with now. Diamondback truck covers is carrying those, but again, the foundation of it all is the Diamondback truck cover itself. I've put pallets of fertilizer and mineral on top of it. I've stood on top of it. I've had multiple people on top of it. I've never had any water get into the bed of my truck. Whether you're in the middle of nowhere on a hiking trip or camping trip, I totally feel fine about leaving my truck and locking it up and not have to worry about anybody being able to get into the bed of my truck. So I highly recommend a Diamondback truck cover as a nice modification or addition to your truck. So hope you guys liked the video. If you want to see more of these, send me a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.